Hi, it's Ralph and Lonnie, and we are going to look at the astrology for August 2025. So if you have your planetary calendar, you can follow along. And if you don't, go visit us at planetarycalendar.com. So let's take a look at the week of the 17th to the 23rd. Again, it starts out kind of light. Like Ralph said in the beginning of the preview, it's a light kind of a month. It has a lot of lightweight aspects, mostly to the moon, and keeps you engaged. And isn't that a summer thing? A little bit less of a onerous schedule and more, activity with the kids. We got Mercury and Mars sextile on the 17th, and with the moon in Gemini. We have that sun-moon sextile, so, mom and dad and, a family things. There's a couple of squares to Saturn and Neptune on that day, but there's no challenging aspects below the line of the aspectarian for the entire week. So it's pretty much a social, again, and clear slate for you to have not too many impediments for anything that you want to do.
Well, I think this is always an interesting time because you're in a time when, where the sun is going through tropical Leo, but also sidereal Leo. So it's really in a core area. And there's only one letter in the entire week. We annotate these. There's only one letter. There's a G on the 22nd, on the Friday. And that's when the sun enters Virgo, the sign of the goddess. And it's the new moon at 0 degrees Virgo. And this is all happening, the new moon, at the star Regulus, the heart of the lion, which is one of the royal stars. A very, very positive energy. When you read the forecast, you'll see that we always mention this every single year because that particular conjunction, people really notice it. A little like the conjunction to Spica, people will notice that one too. There's certain stars, they have a real big frequency. And this one having right at that point, it's just very powerful, and it has a lot to do with feminine archetypes. Let's see, what's the 22nd? I'm going to read actually from the forecast here. The sun enters Virgo at the new moon at 0 degrees Virgo, conjunct the star Regulus, the heart of the lion. This is a powerful set point that speaks about the power of the goddess. The pre-Christian name of the sign was the great goddess of justice, and it celebrated her talents as a farmer and winemaker. In the constellation, the goddess holds a bunch of grapes in her right hand and a work knife in her, a bunch of grapes in her left hand, and a work knife in her right hand. By the way, Virgo, start the countdown to your solar return. So I'm going to get your consultation. But this is it's going to be a real sign at this point of powerful women stepping forward and making a difference. I think you're going to see that. This is something we talk about actually at the beginning of the forecast in that preamble is we're going to see there's going to be a lot of powerful women becoming very prominent during this period of time, I think.
Well, and I like the transition of the moon from Leo to Virgo. We generally refer to that as like back to school time, stop the play and start to pay attention to the details. But Virgo is still quite a lot of time to, school starts so much earlier, at least out here anymore. So it's not even, they've been in school for the whole month of August out here. But it's a nice transition because Virgo is so understanding and takes care of this nice transition from play to work.
Well, we're working on our book. We finished our book, Reclaiming Astrology from the Patriarchy and the Stolen Zodiac, the story of the stolen Zodiac.
It's available.
It's available online.
It's done.
It's available, from online. And one of the things that really did was they took the image of the goddess, this large constellation. Virgo is the second largest constellation in the sky after Serpentis, which just happens to be very long. And they took this, which was the goddess of justice and the goddess of the harvest, and they, in it she held up a knife for cutting the grapes, because wine was so important during the wintertime. And they replaced that with wheat as a way to kind of disempower her and made her the Virgin, aka the Virgin Mary, to disempower women.
With gluten intolerance.
With gluten intolerance,
right.
too. But that's because wheat was so important for the Roman legions. But it really was part of the rise of the patriarchy and the pushing down of women and lifting up of men, which we're living with now 1,700 years later, as the cracks appear in it.
You can tell he loves this topic.
I love this
50
topic.
years in the making for the
Yes,
book.
exactly.
So,
and then the weekends with the 23rd with really very little going on. There's a square between that Uranus in Gemini and the moon in Virgo.
well, and those parallels, this is a parallel that's a little bit more weighty because it's the sun and the moon.
Yeah.
And even the parallel with Venus is a little bit more weighty and a little bit more felt like a lightweight conjunction.
Well, it's also when the sun and the moon are parallel and conjunct, you have an eclipse. Well, here it's happening one day apart, and I
Right.
believe it's in September that we have our eclipses, yes?
So a little astronomy lesson along
Yes,
the way.
exactly. Let's see. Yes, we have the eclipse next month on the 7th. So that's what's starting to happen. They're starting to line up and get ready for that. So it's
So a nice, light, fun week.
it's a nice, light, fun week. Enjoy. We're going to ask your help for something. As you know, we finished our book, Reclaiming Astrology from the Patriarchy. You can find it right there at Planetary Calendar. As we're working on this, we're really getting an idea about whether or not it's accessible to people, whether or not people who are not astrologers will understand this. We've been practicing astrology for a good long time. It's hard for us to have that perspective, though we worked very hard to make the book very open for other people because pretty much it works for anybody who knows their sign, which is almost everybody. We are forming what we call our book tribe. And you can go to planetarycalendar.com and you'll see at the top book/book tribe. And we're asking people to join our book tribe to have access to parts of the book that maybe we didn't use before because we're planning 2 more books. We have one already underway, which is about practicing patriarchy-free astrology. And the other one is called The Stolen Zodiac, which is an expanded version of understanding why the zodiac was changed. And as we do that, we want other people's opinions.
So really, to help us know which way to go, what kind of information we need to fill in with to make it more accessible for everybody, you can be a part of it.
Exactly. So we'll make things accessible to that group through email. When you go to the page, if you would like to be part of our book tribe, just put your email
Just send
in,
us an email.
and we will respond and welcome you and
And let you
so
know
much.
about extra goodies that we might offer to you.
Exactly, because we value your opinion.
So come see us next time. You know where to go. Planetary Calendar Astrology on YouTube. And visit us at planetarycalendar.com if you didn't get your 2026 calendar. And we have books there too.